of this era, which is Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford, everybody started talking and asking, is Terence Crawford one of the greatest ever? Could he end up retiring undefeated, passing Floyd's record, and being one of the greatest fighters ever? And that performance definitely put him on the right foot toward that direction. But I wanted to look at Floyd Mayweather, who is possibly the greatest fighter ever, and what
better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter.
His basics are solid. His fundamentals are solid. He's strong. He's physical. He's moved up and become, solid at a heavier weight than when he started in his career. He's grown into. He's got great experience.
Floyd Mayweather is often called one of the greatest defensive fighters in boxing history. But lately, there's been a lot of talk in the boxing world. What if he stepped into the ring with Terence Crawford? Well, many believe that would be a huge mistake. Mayweather is retired, far past his prime, and experts say facing a pound-for-pound king like Crawford could put both his legacy and his health on the line. With deadly combinations, razor-sharp timing, and the ability to adapt to any opponent, Crawford is a dangerous challenge, one that some argue Mayweather should never take.
I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, now that was a big take. And of course, he's fought both of them.
Yeah, he would know.
So that was a big take. But
not
yeah,
really.
I think so.
Both of them. Not for people who watch boxing. No, that's not. No.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that we sent that Terence Crawford some love, because he also talked a lot that night about how people underestimated him and thought, because people didn't really. He doesn't have the biggest star power, that he wasn't going to win the fight, and he definitely took that home. So congratulations to him. Now
the what?
He doesn't have the biggest star power.
Oh, no.
Yeah, people were He was saying that people were
Because of
underestimating.
that, Floyd Mayweather Jr. retired from professional boxing with a perfect record of 50-0, widely regarded as one of the greatest defensive boxers of all time. Terence Crawford is undefeated as well, a multi-weight world champion known for his combination of switching stances, ring IQ, power, and variety. As Crawford continues to dominate in his divisions, comparisons, hypotheticals, and debates around who could beat whom in their primes naturally build momentum.
I honestly believe that he surpasses now Floyd Mayweather as the best fighter of this generation. That's what I believe.
If that was the goal by Floyd, to be undisputed, then he would have chased undisputed. He chased champions until he became the money draw.
Do you know that Floyd never unified any of the divisions he fought in?
Because he never had to. He was a draw. He just didn't have to. He done the hard work in getting there.
Terence Crawford started out his boxing career as a lightweight, and now he's gone up to super middleweight and become the undisputed super middleweight champion, beating a guy like Canelo, who, listen, previously, man, he was wreaking havoc through that division. And Terence Crawford's just gone out there and taken the belt off him with, let's be honest, relative ease.
Legendary three-division champ Shane Sugar Mosley has stirred things up by saying Terence Crawford might actually have the edge over Floyd Mayweather, at least against certain versions of him. Mosley highlighted Crawford's power, his versatility, and his ability to switch stances, creating unpredictable angles and dangerous offensive weapons. In his words, that could be enough to beat Money Mayweather. But here's the twist. Mosley also admitted that the younger, more aggressive Pretty Boy Mayweather might be a whole different challenge, and one that could give Crawford serious problems.
Go ahead.
Did you believe, or do you agree with the fact that Canelo is saying Crawford is better than Mayweather from an outsider's perspective, having not fought Crawford? Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can't knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Former world champion Tim Bradley has gone on record saying he believes Terence Crawford would actually beat a prime Floyd Mayweather. Bradley points out that Crawford is not only smart and versatile, but also has incredible timing. Now, he does respect Mayweather's legendary defense and agility, but in his view, Crawford has the offensive firepower and the tactical tools needed to break through that distance and cause real problems for Floyd.
Distance, but Terence Crawford is also a master at distance. Terence Crawford has punching power to hurt Floyd Mayweather. We saw that in the
Shane
Sam
hurt
Judah
him.
fight now.
Yeah, Shane too. Shane hurt him with the right hand.
Shane did hurt him as well.
Yep.
And did he fight Shane? But did Floyd fight Shane in his prime? Do you think he fought him in his prime?
No.
Exactly.
And
Max,
Zab wasn't quite a
exactly.
Shane-level fighter. That's true. Listen, it'd
There
be
you
a great
go,
match.
Max.
Amir Khan has shown nothing but respect for Terence Crawford, and he actually believes there's a real case that Crawford could beat Floyd Mayweather. Khan points out Crawford's incredible timing inside the ring, how he disrupts rhythm, makes sharp adjustments, and executes brilliant game plans. Reflecting on his own fight with Crawford, Khan admitted that Crawford has a unique ability to frustrate opponents, making them miss by just inches, then punishing them with perfectly timed combinations. In Khan's eyes, Crawford stands above many of the biggest names in the welterweight division, and even Mayweather's legendary defense might not be enough to withstand Crawford's dangerous blend of offense, ring IQ, and adaptability.
Look, when I was in the ring with him, even though towards after the 1-2 rounds, I started getting my rhythm, but I have to say, put on the best fights I've ever faced, honestly. And I've faced the likes of Canelo, and I was at boxing fights like him. Every fight I've lost previously was when I was up on points, and obviously might have got caught with a good shot and got knocked out, or whatever. But with Crawford, his timing was so on point. I mean, like, what a great fight he was, technician. And I'll always, look, I'm not a hater in any way. Look, even though the fight went the way it did, but I just think his timing was amazing, and just everything about the game plan he had for the fight. I mean, he's a brilliant fighter. You cannot take that away from him. And if he was to fight any welterweight, being Manny Pacquiao, being Errol Spence, being even Floyd Mayweather, I think Crawford would beat a lot of them, maybe all of them. Even and the only fight I would say for him would be a good fight technically would be someone like Mayweather. But I really think he would beat Mayweather.
Carl Frampton, the former two-division world champion, believes Terence Crawford's performance against Canelo was more than just a win. It completely changed how he ranks Crawford compared to Floyd Mayweather. Frampton argues that the way Crawford dominated, controlled the fight, dished out damage, and dictated the pace proves he's operating at a level that could challenge even the very best version of Mayweather. He even compared Crawford's technical skill, ring generalship, and finishing power in that fight to the iconic performances people always point to when talking about prime Mayweather.
I feel that Crawford is going to nick it. I think if he does nick it, it does kind of have to be a stinker. He has to move and use his feet. I think Canelo's feet aren't what they once were, but certainly he's a stronger man in the fight. I think we're going to see a very close one, possibly even a draw, but if you put a gun to my head, I would say Crawford in a close points decision.
You talk a bit about the fight maybe not catching fire in the way some were expecting. If Terence Crawford is to win the fight, does it have to be that sort of fight? And leading from that, can he hurt Canelo Alvarez?
I don't think so. I mean, look at the shots guys like Golovkin bounced off Canelo's head. It's almost like he's unhurtable. We seen him hurt by Miguel Cotto's brother a number of years ago, but that was it really, and he was a young boy. So I think that I don't expect to see Terence hurting or being able to hurt Canelo, but there's a way he can win the fight, and that is by outboxing him.
If Terence Crawford does win, as you're predicting, does he rival Alexander Usyk for that number one pound for pound spot?
I mean, you have to start. I've never really thought about it, but that's a good question, and he'd certainly be in.
Amir Khan has shown nothing but respect for Terence Crawford, and he actually believes there's a real case that Crawford could beat Floyd Mayweather. Khan points out Crawford's incredible timing inside the ring, how he disrupts rhythm, makes sharp adjustments, and executes brilliant game plans. Reflecting on his own fight with Crawford, Khan admitted that Crawford has a unique ability to frustrate opponents, making them miss by just inches, then punishing them with perfectly timed combinations. In Khan's eyes, Crawford stands above many of the biggest names in the welterweight division, and even Mayweather's legendary defense might not be enough to withstand Crawford's dangerous blend of offense, ring IQ, and adaptability.
If Bud beats Canelo convincingly, right, would you put him above Floyd, an all-time great?
See, I ain't
Give me a solid answer. Come on, Shakur. Don't dance around that, bro.
I can't get into that because at the end of the day, it's like.
But
it's
that's just an opinion.
It's opinionated.
Right,
Regardless,
I want your
it's
opinion.
opinionated. My opinion on it, I think Bud is the greatest of all time after doing this.
Okay.
But
thank you. That's all I wanted.
Floyd is the greatest of all time in my eyes too. Like the shit I don't watch with him is like he's one of my favorite fighters. So,
I know.
Carl Frampton, the former two-division world champion, believes Terence Crawford's performance against Canelo was more than just a win. It completely changed how he ranks Crawford compared to Floyd Mayweather. Frampton argues that the way Crawford dominated, controlled the fight, dished out damage, and dictated the pace proves he's operating at a level that could challenge even the very best version of Mayweather. He even compared Crawford's technical skill, ring generalship, and finishing power in that fight to the iconic performances people always point to when talking about prime Mayweather.
Everyone is going to start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah. We ain't going out that much.
Now,
Shakur Stevenson has made it clear. He believes Terence Crawford is just one fight away from entering the greatest of all time conversation. And that fight, beating Canelo Alvarez. Stevenson points to Crawford's movement, skill set, and elite boxing IQ, saying those tools are exactly what he needs to neutralize Canelo's offense and swing the fight in his favor. But here's the key. Stevenson says a win over Canelo wouldn't just be another belt on Crawford's resume. It would be a career-defining moment, the kind of victory that changes how boxing history remembers him. In Stevenson's eyes, beating someone of Canelo's stature, boxing royalty, would cement Crawford's legacy among the all-time greats, leaving critics with nothing left to argue.
Floyd Money Mayweather up until recently didn't have any money, so Floyd is the highest earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this LA mansion. It was so bad that he actually owed $22.2 million to the IRS, which made him have to come out of retirement to pay that back. Like and follow for more.
Terence Crawford has pushed back hard against the constant comparisons to Floyd Mayweather, making it clear he doesn't see their styles or careers as directly comparable. Crawford points out that Mayweather fought in a different era, with different opponents, promoters, and public expectations, while his own journey has followed a unique path. And while he admits the comparisons might fuel media debates, Crawford says his focus is only on what he can control. Sharpening his craft, picking the right fights, and staying consistent. For him, it's not about hypothetical matchups or records. It's about proving himself in the ring against the very best. Crawford wants his achievements judged on their own terms, not measured against Mayweather's legacy.
I want to say, but I won't say it. But other than Leonard Ellerby is a boxing man. He knows deep down that was absolutely horrendous. And the other thing is as well, when you've got a guy in the environment that we live in at the moment, right, after a tough year for a lot of people, to come out of the press conference and just basically laugh at people and say, I just took your money. It was a bank job. It was a heist. It was like I conned you into, I mean, those pay-per-views in America, I think they were like $60. I mean, he basically just took the piss out of the fans. But I don't blame him. He made an absolute fortune. Good luck to him. I'm not having a go at Floyd Mayweather. I'm just a fan who's allowed to give my opinion. Absolutely dreadful. Even Floyd Mayweather was embarrassed at a press conference after. He basically said, I'm not doing that again. The biggest winner was Logan Paul. I mean, he's just gone 8 rounds with Floyd Mayweather. And actually, at times...
Did you think he got knocked out and held up?
No, I think at times Floyd Mayweather was actually really trying. But anyway, it was what it was. But it all comes back to The pressure is on us. Not us as in me and Matchroom, but it is on boxing. If we don't make good fights, you're going to see more and more of this. Because if Gervonta Davis against Mara Barros is doing 100,000 buys, and Andy Ruiz against Areola is doing 80,000 buys or 100,000 buys, and you've got that doing 1 million, what are the broadcasters going to want? That. We have to save boxing. We, not just me, all of us. And the fighters have got to step up, the managers have got to step up, the trainers have got to step up. We've got to pay the money for these guys to have real fights. And that's what you'll see at Fight Camp.
Floyd Mayweather's recent string of exhibition fights has drawn a lot of criticism from boxing experts, with many saying it damages both his legacy and the sport itself. The biggest complaint? These exhibitions are total mismatches. Floyd stepping in with non-elite fighters, influencers, even YouTubers, instead of real contenders. That takes away any real competitive value. Critics argue these bouts aren't about boxing at the highest level. They're simply money grabs dressed up as fights.
Which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match? All right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it. John Gotti III, I don't know anything about him. I'm not trying to disrespect him. And yes, I'm being smart. I'm not trying to disrespect the grandson of a mobster. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street or anything like that. Boxing is your thing. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't see just anybody on the basketball court playing against LeBron James. He won't do it. He doesn't have to. It's a waste of his time. You might see footages of Dwayne Wade training his son. You don't see Dwayne Wade playing against just anybody. He's not doing it.
Oscar De La Hoya has been one of the loudest voices on this, flat out calling some of Mayweather's exhibitions embarrassing, saying they make a mockery of boxing. And he's not alone. Analysts have questioned whether fighting YouTubers or influencers can really be justified as entertainment, arguing that these spectacles do nothing to honor the skill and tradition of the sport.
Bye. Goodbye. Pick up a couple dollars. You know, they upset. See, they upset because I'm able to milk the game. I'm smart. Kept all my faculties. Made a lot of smart investments. So, you know, when great people like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, the Waltons, the people that own Walmart, Walgreens, when they're getting money in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, 80s, and even 90s, it's okay. A young kid like myself from the inner city, from the ghetto, I worked my way to the top. I was able to leave boxing on my own terms and keep all my faculties, kept a lot of my money. So they're upset that I'm able to go out there and continue to make 40 and 50 and 60 million outside the ring. You can't get mad. Yo, listen, this is what God wanted.
Eddie Hearn also didn't hold back. He slammed one of Mayweather's exhibition matches as absolutely horrendous, saying events like that damage boxing's reputation. And even Stephen A. Smith called out Floyd for hand-picking opponents nowhere near his level, suggesting those choices were all about the payday, not preserving his legacy. In fact, in one direct interview, Stephen A. even pressed Mayweather himself, asking him straight up if he valued his wealth more than his legacy.
What's up, fight fans? Prime for prime. Who wins a fight, Floyd Mayweather Jr. or Bud Crawford? Bob Arum says Bud. Do you agree?
For prime, who would have won, Crawford or Mayweather? Prime for prime.
Crawford.
Really? Why?
Because Crawford is a unique kind of fighter that other fighters haven't seen. And the ability that he has to switch, you know, fighters aren't used to that. They don't train for that. I just think Crawford is a very, very unique talent.
What do you think
The
about
recent announcement that Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson will face off in a spring 2026 exhibition has stirred massive controversy, with many in the boxing world questioning the credibility and value of these kinds of matchups. But Mayweather has fired back at his critics. He defends the exhibitions as a legitimate way to stay active while making money on his own terms. Floyd argues that retirement doesn't mean disappearing. It means having the freedom to choose what you do and when. To him, these fights aren't about padding a record. They're about giving both longtime fans and a new generation the chance to see him in action. And as for the big paydays, Mayweather insists there's nothing wrong with building wealth and influence later in life, just like any other successful person would. So what do you think? Does Terence Crawford really have what it takes to surpass Floyd Mayweather if they ever fought? Or is Mayweather still untouchable? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's get the debate going.